All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. We're good. Perfect. Copy. All right. Hello, everybody. First things first, of course, if you can hear me loud and clear, let me know, and then we will go ahead and begin. Quite a lot I want to talk about in this current structure, and this kind of give you guys a idea of what to expect next, at least for this current 4-hour time frame. There's quite a lot in terms of the support levels and what to really look for. So let's go ahead with Bitcoin first. So on Bitcoin, I want to go over the trade setups that we had prior, and then I'll tell you guys exactly what I'm expecting as of right now. But looking at Bitcoin, you can see the first level on the original break was at 89.8. I told you guys that if we lose the 89K region, it is completely over for the short-term bull market, right? We were expecting a massive Bart formation to complete, and you can see that once we lost 89K, since then we've pretty much just seen multiple bearish engulfing candles over and over, letting us know that bears are indeed in control right now. And this is why I keep telling you guys not to look for long positions. Every single time we end up rejecting off these exponential moving averages, it means the fact that we are still looking for new lows to be tested. When you have a original bottom formation or something in terms of a heavy support, you tend to see a strong bullish engulfing candle. That's your first sign of a reversal, at least for the short term. And you can see that right now we are nowhere near that zone just yet, and we continue to use our support levels and continue to break them. But you can see that today we had Bitcoin testing at 86.5, right? That was the original trade setup. I told you guys this morning that if we end up breaking the wick, to take a shorting position. Now I want to talk to you guys about the current short structure that will happen. You can see that 86.9 was broken. We saw a wick to 85.4, but I told you that the daily wick remains to be at 85.1. That is the level that I was paying attention to. Do you see from this previous price analysis, these two wicks right here? These wicks were very important because if we were going to see any sort of market bounce, it would have been on these wicks. What happened next? The market ended up breaking, right? We broke that wick level structure all the way down from 85.1, saw a massive capitulation fest down to 82.1. And I told you guys this multiple times that, hey, look, if we end up losing 85.1, it's over, right? We're going to see all hell break loose. And the reason I told you guys that was because if you look here on the daily structure for Bitcoin, there was no support. There was absolutely no support once that level structure broke. Just like how fast a market moved up, that's the exact same way how it broke down as well. So I hope you guys see that from this structure right here on the daily, right? 85.5 all the way down into 82.1, but we're not yet completing the move set, right? The overall support level that I'm paying attention to right now is at 81.3. That is the support, at least the bottom of the move set, were pretty much where things started. That's likely where we are expecting some sort of massive relief. And again, you can see that every single time the market right now pushes back up, we're getting rejected, right? We are seeing that market volatility right now. We're continuing to reject these levels. And right now the bears are in control. That's the harsh reality of things. Whether you like it or not, things are expecting to go lower, right? And that's the issue with Bart formations. Mostly when you have a Bart formation this large. This was a massive Bart, and I told you guys this so many times when we were trading around the 94K. Do you guys remember my original post? It was at like 104K, and I said, look, I think the market is in extreme conditions right now. Trump launched a meme coin. I am selling 90% of my spot positions, and I'm closing all of my positions. The reason for that, it wasn't because of the Bart formation, because technically speaking, the Bart was never created then. The reason for that was everyone was bullish when I was bearish. I was doing opposite of what everyone thought. Everyone thought Trump would being in office was a great thing. And I said, look, market tends to do opposite of what everyone thinks. And there was a clear picture on the 106K region in terms of resistance that we were simply not going to break above that level. Trump came into office, we launched the meme coin, and we still couldn't break above 106. Market was extremely overbought. And again, for those people that continue to say, oh, well, the bull market never really started. Yes, it did, moron. The bull market started a long time ago, right? The bull market started when we broke the previous all-time high. The bull market started when we continued to rally from all the way down here at literally 25k BTC all the way up to 107. It comes to a point, ladies and gentlemen, where greed takes over completely. Just because we didn't see an alt season yet does not mean that the bull market never started. The bull market started, and I think a lot of people right now are experiencing the pain of not looking to take those profits along the way. How many times have I continued to tell you guys, look, if you're trading even on leverage or spot positions, continue to take your profits along the way, because when the market turns to a side swipe, it is absolutely over for a lot of folks. And that's exactly what's happening right now. The market ended up seeing a side swipe, and that's why we see such a large continuation towards the downside. But 81.3 is the main level of interest for me. Of course, I'm not really necessarily looking for short positions as of right now. Reason being is market is in extreme oversold conditions, and we've already broken the wick. If I was looking for a short, it would have been on this wick here, it would have been on this wick here, it would have been on this wick here. So I want to explain to you guys how you can effectively short these markets, mostly when you have an extreme zone as of right now. So pretty much what I do normally is, if let's say for example I have a level in my head, right? I say, okay, 81k should play out. The problem is, more times than not, the 81k won't just go straight towards the downside, right? What happens in between is something like this. You'll see this, and then you'll see the 81k. So when I'm trading something like that, all I'm really doing is playing the wicks here. So if you see the wick here at 85.9, that would have been my first trade structure, right? We scalp short, again, because of the market volatility. We're not holding our trades. We're simply scalp shorting the market. Market ends up breaking wick. We enter a short position. We wait for the next candle close. The next candle here, this was a specific candle that I talked about today right here. I want to see how this candlestick closes. You can see we saw the wick going down to 85.3. A candle closed up here at 87.4. Now, this was the deciding factor, right? We ended up continuing to retest the same level of support multiple times. So this is how you kind of effectively trade when you're on support. Let's zoom out completely, okay? And let's pay attention to the current structure. We tested 86.5 how many times? So you have 1 wick, 2 wick, 3 wick, 4 wick, and now this was the 5th level, and we still were connecting to the support. That's 5 reasons why this support level has already been tested, as well as the EMAs were pushing as resistance as well. When you have that much pressure on a support level, 9 out of 10 times you see a break. You can see we saw the break formation. Where was the trade opportunity there? The trade opportunity was right here on this wick. Even if you shorted at 85.4, in your head, you knew that the worst case scenario, right, of course, in terms of target, was 85.1. So it's about a give or take $400 trade setup. Not a bad scalp position by any means. Best case scenario, we ended up breaking that level, and now that's where things get completely volatile, right? We actually did break that level, and you saw we dropped another $4,000 from there. So do you understand why I tell you guys not to look for long positions in this market? All we're really doing in this current downtrend, and the reason why we're not swinging these levels, right? The reason why we're not swinging these levels is if the market decides to have a pullback. If the market decides to have any sort of pullback or any sort of relief, you are basically the one that shorted the bottom, right? The bottom of the local bottom rather. Because again, how extreme we are in terms of the current drop from 95 down to near 82, it is quite large to happen within 2 days. There's a lot of coins right now that are completely exhausted, which I'll touch base in a second on the altcoins, but that's pretty much why I'm not really looking for swing positions. Instead, all I'm really doing is just playing with this level. Every time the wick breaks, I'm looking for shorting opportunities. It comes to a point though, let's say for example, the market has now tested 81.3, right? Now that we've tested the bottom of the move set, it just becomes common sense. Am I really going to short on support after we've already fallen from 94 down to 81? Probably not. But am I looking for a long position? Probably not. And why are we not looking for long positions at 81? Well, because if 81 is lost, guess what? The next level is down to 75. It is max pain for a lot of people. And that's why I keep telling you guys, look, you're much better off just trading these wicks on the way towards the downside, closing the position, waiting for the 4-hour candle to close, and then re-entering the market dependent. Why? Number one, you take your profits that's on the table. You're not risking your profits because you've already taken them. You guys saw me at 84.1 or whatever the trade was, 85.1, whatever the hell the trade was. You guys saw it took 140%. I'm okay with that. I don't really care if the market goes lower anyways, right? Again, guess what? It did. You guys saw live when I posted that trade that it happened to me too, right? The market went lower. Did you see me re-enter the trade? Did you see me say, okay, guys, I'm entering another short? No. Right? Reason why? That's just discipline. It comes with time. But when you already have 140% off the table, at that point, it just becomes you're watching the market do its thing. You know in the back of your head that 81.3 is a major zone. But am I going to be entering on a free fall situation randomly after? Again, it's momentum, but if I'm happy with 140%, am I really going to do it again? Probably not, right? I'm probably going to wait for the wick break and then enter again. Why? Because now I know that, hey, this level structure broke, this level test retested, I'm okay, I'm comfortable in taking the short position. But that's pretty much what we're looking at for Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, is tonight for Asia hours, all eyes remain on 81.3. We are not looking for long positions. Again, in order for us to look for a long position or spot position, we need to see the market at least overcome the exponential moving averages. Now, speaking about spot positions, you guys keep messaging me, oh, Pingu, I don't know what to do with my spot positions. Guys, I told you what to do with your spot positions, and the ones that messaged me clearly didn't listen. I said at 106K Bitcoin, I'm out of the market, 90% of spot positions, I'm done. That was your time to take your profits too, right? A lot of coins went 10x. A lot of coins did go 10x. And even just the large caps, they actually did very well too, right? Including Doge as well. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, Doge didn't do very well. Doge didn't do this, Doge didn't do that. Guys, you have to understand, when we originally had that position, it was at 10 cents. Doge went to the highs all the way up into 50 cents, give or take. That's a 5x on a large cap coin. Even if you're investing long-term, 5x is very good, right? When Bitcoin went 4x, I understand the altcoin season didn't happen, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But I'm not going to sit here and say, okay, guys, I'm expecting altcoin season to happen in March or April or May, because again, I'm not that kind of trader. I'm not the one to guess the market structure when the full moon or I don't care. I really don't give a shit, right? I don't. I only care about what's happening with the current 4-hour interval. You guys may have noticed that. I'm not the person to sit there and tell you, okay, guys, on February 19th of this time, the market's going to do that. All I care about is what the level structure is showing us. And right now, it's showing us that, of course, bears are in full control, right? And we are seeing no sign of relief as of right now. So the main level to watch would be 81. If we lose 81 from this Bart formation, unfortunately, guys, the bottom of the move set is around 72 to 73. It is a previous all-time high, right? So you can see, look how many, okay, just in level perspective. This might make it easier for you guys so you can see here. So remember the Trump candle? I'll touch base real quick with this. The Trump candle was election night, not the other candle. This was election night only. So you can see level 1, test, level 2, right? So here, let me move over. Level 2, test right here, 73.7. And then Trump came and won the election. This was the Trump candle. But if you pay attention, we never tested the previous resistance as support. That is the biggest thing for me on a daily level. Why was that level not tested? That is where the extreme of the Bart formation can go. Now here, it gets crazier, right? Look at this. So right now, Bitcoin was at 106 at the, or what are the top here? 109 down to 81. Pretty extreme, but not really. It really isn't. And what I mean by that is I showed you guys this tinfoil hat moment before, but I quickly want to touch base about it again. So from the previous bull run, do you guys notice something? So look at the previous bull run here. Bitcoin shot all the way up to around 65. And then what happened? We had the exact same Bart. And I talked about this in the last stream and people were like, oh, that was crazy. No, it's not crazy. It is the exact same Bart formation from the highs of 60 down to the lows of 29. That's more than what, a 50% correction, right? And that happened during a bull market. But what happened next? The next leg, of course, pushed us past all-time high. And I talked about this. I think what's happening currently in the market is we are here. I think we're right here. We're right here in the current market structure where we tested the highs of 110 and now we're at 81. If we lose 81, 73. Does everyone see what I'm saying? Does this make sense? It is the same level structure. It is the same price analysis level on the daily time frame, just from previous all-time high, right? And why was that level so important? Why did we care from previous all-time high? Well, guess what? When Bitcoin originally broke its previous all-time high, it never ended retesting the level as support. Look what happened. Tested support, then the next leg towards the all-time high. So again, that's my logic. It doesn't have to play out perfectly, but I mean, I think so far we can all agree that it is working, right? The Bart formation is playing out. For those of you that when I originally posted my tinfoil hat moment, it was at 94,000. If you go in Telegram and search the message, from 94 down to 81, I would say it's very safe to say that yes, the Bart formation is in play and the Bart formation continues to play out. So as long as we trade below our exponential moving averages, so again, the yellow and white line, as long as we're below that level, we are only looking for shorts. We are not looking for longs. In terms of altcoins, same thing. We are only looking for shorts until Ethereum breaks above the exponential moving average. Or the problem is the same folks 12 hours ago were saying the bottom is in are now underwater again with another 20-30%, right? That's the issue, is the market is not seeing any sign of relief and we continue to break the support level. So why I keep repeating myself is don't take alt trades, don't take spot position, is because we don't know when the reversal is going to happen. Nobody can tell you and sit here and say, okay, the reversal is going to happen. The same folks that were sitting at 90K saying reversal, same ones are telling you at 86 reversal, and probably tomorrow are going to be the same ones telling you at 81 reversal. The reversal will happen when the EMAs break above and use as support. Until that happens, we are only looking for shorting opportunities. For example, Nvidia just had its earnings report. You can see we booked all the way to 85 because it was a good report. What happened? Why did the market not continue pushing, right? So you can see we were back to 83.7. The volume is simply not there. The mindset for this, a lot of traders is simply not there because they really think that, you know, we're not going to go lower. And that's the problem. Capitulation is fast, right? Capitulation happens extremely quick. Now, for those of you that are in spot positions long-term, again, this is not for you. Long-term positions remain to be long-term positions. This is not for you. This is for people that, of course, are leveraging or for people that are looking for short-term buying opportunities. What I'm expecting for Asia hours tonight is at least a retest down to 81.3. Would I be looking for a short position right now? Again, no, because why? We don't have a wick to trade off. We're currently in an indecisive stage. This is a doji. We're currently in a 50-50. Market is indecisive of whether or not it wants to continue higher or push lower. But if 81.3 magically hits while I'm gone, and I want to explain this to you guys, very important now. If 81.3 magically hits while I'm gone, and we actually manage to close above that zone, and you see volume come into the market, it would be worth looking for some small opportunities in terms of scalps. And what I mean by that is super quick trades. Usually when you, and I'll quickly show you an example of this, usually when you end up hitting a major support level for the first time, for the very first time, and I'll show you a perfect example of this. So you can see that a major level on Bitcoin was at 90.8. You look at the, right, so same thing. So this is a good example here. We saw market come all the way from 98 all the way down into 90. This was a major level. But look what happened. To the exact dollar, the market actually bounced on that zone. So if it gets to that extreme in this 4-hour candlestick, it is not a bad idea for a quick scalp. But again, we are not swing long. We are not buying opportunities. I'm going to completely keep repeating myself. No longs, okay? I don't want to see anyone get liquidated. And again, if you did get liquidated and if you did lose money because you were long, I have no sympathy for you. I really don't. Because for the past 3 weeks, I have been sitting here screaming at you, telling you there's a Bart formation at 94K. There is multiple support levels that have already been tested here, and we continue to see that support break. So why are we looking for long positions? It does not make any sense. This is not for spot traders. Once again, spot traders, if you are underwater and you didn't sell at 106K, all you can really do right now is hold. I do not want to be the one to remind you that there makes no sense of cutting a position down 50%, hoping it goes down another 10% just to rebuy back lower. It is dumb. It is not worth it. You are just stuck in your positions and you're going to sit here and hold your positions until the market reverses. When that happens, nobody knows. I'm not a crystal ball guy. All I do is trade the 4-hour intervals, and I will continue telling you guys what to trade. So now, Looking at the current structure, once again, 81.3 for Ethereum, not really looking for any trade structures yet because Ethereum continues to be in a more free fall state. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but look at Ethereum, and I pointed this out before too. Ethereum at 2120, 1 test, 2 test, 3 test. If somehow the market ends up losing the 81K region, the next support level on Ethereum, everyone drumroll, are you ready? The next support level on Ethereum is going to be all the way down into the $2,000 to $1,800 Ethereum. It is unfortunate, but that is the worst case scenario. And I'm going to let you know that worst case scenario now, because this is what capitulation looks like, right? And again, even if we see a sideways action, and I talked about this before too, I'm sorry about all the lines here, it's just my supports, but if you see this sideways action right here, right? Sideways action is not bullish in a downturn trend market. Sideways action is just a relief in between until the next leg towards the downside. Here was the next leg. Here was all these traders that got liquidated, and then the next leg continued falling lower. So once again, can the market go lower? Everyone, yes, it can, right? The market can go lower. So please understand and take that with a grain of salt. We are not looking for long positions, and that is our next level. All eyes on 81.3. Again, we are not in this market structure, right, for the swing trades. 81.3, if it magically holds, cool, we'll decide then. But all eyes remain on this level for now, because again, Bitcoin losing 85.1, that was a chance for bulls to reclaim. They did not, in fact, reclaim, and that's why we saw the capitulation right now going down to 82.1. So that, I hope that makes sense for you guys. But in terms of altcoins in general, Doge, pretty much same sort of situation as well. The next support level if Doge loses 0.19 is at 0.17. I talked about Cardano, and Cardano actually is one of those trades that I'm actually paying very close attention to. Cardano, if you're looking for a trade setup on Cardano, again, magically, if it happens tonight in Asia hours, your trade setup's right here. So around 62.98, 60, let's just say 63 flat. We got pretty close to it. We got to 63.15, but again, I'm a very strict trader on wicks. If the wick breaks, we didn't even test the wick, but if this level structure breaks, then guys, the next support level on Cardano is at 58 cents. That's something to keep in mind. I've talked about this many times before. Cardano is one of those coins that, again, is in a weird spot right now. It has a huge gap in terms of support. There's not much here in between, and I do think that if the market loses that wick, this is a free shorting opportunity to 58. It's going to be a very quick wick towards the downside, kind of like what we saw over here. Quick wick towards the downside, hitting that level, and then continuation from there. In terms of Solana, I'll touch base at this, the last point, my last point for tonight. Solana right now, like I told you guys this a while ago pretty much, but we ended up losing a major support level here at 174, right? Everyone remember that trade, 174. We took the trade, and it was a huge trade down to 159. I said 159 should be the first level retest from bullish, but what we need to see is a break above and close above with the retest of support. So I'll touch base with this again. So you can see here's a prime example of what possibly could have looked like a bottom formation. Number one, Solana hit all the way down to 160, okay? What could have been a relief rally and reversal was we had to break above. So rule number one, break above the exponential moving averages. Okay, we did that. Rule number two, we have to use that level as support. So that's where we failed. You can see that we actually never held that level as support. We actually broke that level as support, then retested as resistance, letting us know the market's still looking for a downside. But assuming Solana actually held that level as support, then the trade setup would have been on this wick right here, something like this, right? As soon as that wick level is tested, you enter a long position and you're riding for the profits all the way towards the upside. So that's pretty much on Solana right now. But looking at Solana, you can see that there's no relief rally. The next level of support, which is, again, quite a bit here, but is around from a wick perspective. The main wick is 127. Any loss of that, and you're looking at $118 Solana. To put it into perspective, during Trump's meme coin rally, it was at $296. Yeah, pretty crazy. And we haven't really seen much. So yeah, what are my long-term thoughts on buy and hold? I'm very bullish on long-term on Bitcoin. I've been bullish on Bitcoin for a very long time in terms of spot positions too. And I always tell people this: if you're entering a spot position, right, and you're in it for the long term, then 1 to 3 years, it doesn't matter what the price is. You're just going to continue buying, and you have a level structure in your head. Right now is the first corrective move towards the downside on the Bart. Number 2 would be the next leg. The next leg should break Bitcoin to all-time high, past 110, probably to around 115 to 120. Ideally, if you're looking from that perspective and you're okay, again, keyword, you're okay to hold for the next 1 or 2 years, buy whatever you want, because you're looking at for the next 1 or 2 years. My job for you guys is to tell you when the level structures break and when the relief can happen. Right now, if I were to, for example, and I will give you guys a quick little example of this. If I told you guys at 94,000, hey guys, market's oversold here, I'm going to enter a long position, or I'm going to start looking for buying opportunities on spot coins. Do you know how much of a dick I would be to say that? Because again, I don't know if the level's going to hold. Why would I drag you guys down with me? And that's what I hate. A lot of these VIP and group chats and stuff, everyone thinks they have a crystal ball. Yeah, I'm gonna enter some long positions here. Okay, boom, market drops to 89. Okay, guys, I'm gonna 50% add again. Market breaks down to 86. Okay, guys, I'm a 50% add again. Like at that point, you're just setting your subscribers and everyone else for failure. My job right now, if I were to tell you guys, hey guys, I'm entering long positions here at 83, we literally dodged the whole moveset towards the downside. Do you see what I'm saying? But I'm not going to say that because, again, we don't have a level structure yet. When the level structure happens, I will be the first one to tell you, guys, we're entering spot positions. This is what I'm buying. This is what I'm looking at. This is what we're going for. I will be the first one to tell you. I am going to be the first one to tell you right now that I'm not looking for that. Because, again, the market has not found any sort of support. We are just free falling. Do not be the person trying to guess where the bottom is. Do not be the person trying to catch the falling knife. Pay attention to the levels. Once the level hits, then decide, okay, what's going to happen next? If you start seeing volume come into the market, if you see a strong bullish engulfing, cool, enter the trade. If not, then sit on your hands, wait for the wick, candle close, short all the way down. Again, it's a Bart formation. These Barts are very disgusting. Why would a Bitcoin all of a sudden stop here and then moon, right? Again, it can happen, but the likelihood of a Bart formation to complete, guys, it's bad. It is bad. Like, I'm not even being sugarcoating with you. Here's your Bart. Like, it's so bad. It is disgustingly bad. But again, right? So this is the problem with a lot of traders. They'll have bag bias and they'll continue looking for longs. And if you continue looking for longs, I'm sorry, you're just giving free money. You might as well just donate it to a charity. Right now, like I said, 81.3 first level, break of that. I don't even know what to say. If it breaks that today, like kind of questionable. But if it breaks him in the next few days, then I'm still not looking for longs. I would only look for longs if magically, keyword magically, we break above 90. Then I'll go long. I'll go crazy long in 90. But otherwise, sitting on my hands, do your thing. And yeah, no, I appreciate that. I am like, guys, I'm being honest with you. I am sitting here in pain, right? Because I have a herniated disc and it's really bad. But I make these live streams, I make these charts, I make these videos because I don't want to see anyone get liquidated, right? That's my number one priority is you guys. So if I'm sitting here and telling you over and over not to look for long positions, and then you message me and say, hey, Pingo, I'm in a long position, it's a slap to my face. Because I ask myself sometimes why the hell I sit here for 12 hours a day to chart for you, and then you still do opposite of what I'm saying. It makes no sense to me. Right? If I'm saying, hey guys, I'm not looking for any trades, that simply means I'm not looking for any trades. That's all. It doesn't, you don't have to overthink it. Oh, Pingu, but Doge is doing, oh, Pingu, I don't care. I don't care what the market is doing, right? If there's no trades, there's no trades. Today was a prime example of that. We didn't trade anything yesterday. We traded today. I told you guys a wick break, first level. I told you guys second break, second level, 85.1 hit. I said if it breaks, third level. Like anything you did today was profit, right? Anything. Realistically, though, and again, I get it. So a lot of people hesitate to enter positions, but that's why the wicks are there. The wicks are there for you to enter a position. I'll give you a prime example of this. If you're someone that hesitates, then just wait for the wick break. That's all I'm trying to say. If you're someone that hesitates, the wick low here was 85.960. Even if you entered a short, it was 85.4. Even if you entered this short, it was all the way down to 83.4. Even if you entered this short, it was all the way down to 82.1. Do you see what I'm trying to explain to you? Stop hesitating. Stop being a little child about it. If the trade is there, take the trade. You don't need me to say, okay, guys, if I'm sleeping and you guys see the opportunity, take the trade. You don't have to go crazy size. Just take the trade and learn from it. You don't need me to sit there and say, okay, guys, I'm going to enter a trade here. Hey, guys, we're shorting here. If that's the whole point of the wicks, right? The wicks are supposed to tell you, I sleep like 9 hours a night. if something happens in Asia hours and I'm not available, then, you know, take the trade, learn from it. And if you make money, great. If you don't, then don't use crazy size. If you know I'm not going to wick, don't use crazy size. But that's the whole point of it, is to learn. I'm teaching you how to do it, right? So, yeah, so I hope that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys. Okay, so last thing. Where would you have put your stop loss? That's what I struggle with. So let me explain to you. If I'm taking a trade at 85.9, right, and now the market breaks down. So if the market actually broke down and it's a few $100 trade and I'm up like, let's say 5, 10, 15%, I'm putting a trailing stop where I'm comfortable with. My rule of thumb, give or take, again, it depends on size and it depends on leverage, but my rule of thumb, I'm okay with anything with 5 to 7%, right? So if I'm up 5 to 7% in a trade, in a current leverage position, I'm setting up those trailing stops, because if I can guarantee 5% every single day, I'm a very successful trader. So what I would do in that sort of situation, again, it's not, is just put my stop loss in profit. Best case scenario, it capitulates. Worst case scenario, it comes back. So if you can see from this trade setup, 85.9 dropped all the way down to 85.3. That's more than 5%, right? That's about a $400 trade setup. That's quite a bit. So what you can do, and depending on your leverage, but you would have placed your stop loss in profit anywhere along this way. Market pushes back up, hits your stop loss. You wait for candle close. Next rule of thumb, wait for the next wick. Same sort of situation. Put your trailing stop in. Market drops down to 83.3. Anywhere from here, you would have taken your profit. Me, I don't need to tell you when to take your profits. That's the biggest thing. Profits is dependent on everyone. Everyone can take their own profits willingly. You guys see me, I took 140% trade profit, right? Could I have closed for 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%? Yeah, I could have. But again, I knew the level in my head was 85.1. So it's a different style of trading, but that comes with over time. Number one rule for you guys should be taking your profits, whether they're big or small, is take them, become consistent with them, and then you can start practicing to do longer term trades. Until then, there's no reason why you're not scalping. Scalping is your friend, and I've been trying to sit here and explain to you guys for pretty much the past 2 years is I am a scalp trader, but I'm a scalp trader on the 4-hour time frame. There's scalp traders that trade $50, $100 positions. I don't do that. I scalp trade, yes, but I do on the 4-hour interval, and when a break happens on a 4-hour interval, it's thousands of dollars. That's why we take these trades on a 4-hour interval. That's the only time I'll take a trade, and it is very profitable to take that trade if the level breaks. Keyword is if the level breaks, right? And you have to be very disciplined on that. What I mean by that is if it's off by $100 or $200, you do not enter that trade. If it hits that level and you see it hit to the exact wick, you do not enter that trade. You will know when a wick breaks. A wick breaks with volume. A wick break is massive volume. For example, 85.1 was a wick break. So here's the level, right? So right there, look at the volume that came to the market. Immediately cascaded. So that's pretty much how you would take that. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not talking about altcoins, guys. I'm not going through every coin. I told you guys, if I'm bearish on Bitcoin, I'm bearish on everything. There's no specific coin that's going to be bullish right now. So yeah, like I said, 81.3 would be the zone to watch. I'm not looking for long positions. I'm just sitting on my hands as of right now. If this 4-hour candlestick in the next 2-hour closes above somewhere around here, and let's assume the market rejects again and comes back down here, then we're entering another short position at 82.3, riding up to 81.3. But if the market decides to relief rally, guess what? We're not in a trade. We don't really care. I mean, I hope for everyone's bag we do have a relief rally at some point, but we're not really looking for too much. Okay? Everyone makes sense? Everyone happy with that? I'm out. My back is killing me. Peace out. Thanks for listening and tuning in. Like I said, I just wanted to make this video because I know there's a lot going on, a lot of commotion. I just want to make sure everyone is on the same page. Peace out. Have a wonderful day, and see ya.